For those of you that have watched my channel the last few days, you saw my Oathbreaker introduction and the Liliana the Last Hope deck that I introduced there. So I decided to actually take her and put her into the Historic Brawl format as the leader of a deck, and this deck is all about necromancy, so let's take a look. This is my Necromantic Aspirations deck, and if you were paying attention to what I said, I did this as a 60-card Oathbreaker deck the other day with Liliana the Last Hope as the lead, while here she is now in a 100-card Historic Brawl deck. So let's take a look. If you don't know what she does, or did not watch the other video, Liliana the Last Hope, for 1 black, you get a 3 starting loyalty Liliana Planeswalker, +1, target creature gets -2/-1 until end of turn, or into your next turn, it should say. -2, mill 2 cards, and then return a creature from your graveyard to your hand. And -7, you get an emblem at the beginning of your end step. Create X 2/2 black zombie creature tokens, where X is X plus 2 of the number of zombies you control. So, what you do here is you try to get her to 7 as quickly as possible, and it doesn't matter if she dies when you do it. -7 her, get that emblem going, because most games that you get the emblem, you're going to win the game, because it's just a big inevitability. It's going to keep destroying zombies every turn, and your opponents cannot spend forever keeping them off the board, and eventually they're going to die. So the other things here that are nice, the -2 can get you some things back, such as Gem Palm Polluter and things that get killed in combat. So once in a while you want to use the minus. The +1, though, is actually where a lot of the hay is made with this deck, because people don't understand that you can actually not target your own stuff with it, and you can go ahead and just nuke any kind of 1 toughness creature. So if they have, Llanowar Elves or stuff like that, just kill it. Just be gone. Go away. So, and then you can just shrink some of their stuff, and it messes the combat up. Oh, you have a 3/3. Well, now you have a 1/2, and it messes your combat math up. And there's just a lot of applications for that -2, -1. And then the rest of the deck, it's a little different than a lot of my normal decks. Being in mono black, we don't have a ton of protection spells available to us, and being that we're not running a creature, we don't really want to use like the hexproof boots and stuff like that. So instead, we're going to lean hard into the themes of Liliana and the necromancy, and we're going to use necromancy spells instead. So we have things like Blood for Bones, which this was actually the signature spell of my Oathbreaker deck, so it's now in the main deck as one of our spells. Sack a creature, return a creature to the battlefield, and 1 to your hand, so there's good applications there. Gix's Command, this can actually return stuff to your hand. It can destroy your opponent's creatures, it can wipe the board, and you can get it set up where it's a one-sided wipe, or you can put counters on a creature and gain life if you need to as well. We also have Gruesome Menagerie. For 3 black, choose a creature card with mana value 1 and do the same for 2 and 3. Well, most of our deck, most of the zombies anyways, are 1, 2, or 3 drops. So oftentimes you're going to get 3 creatures off of this, as long as you kind of set your graveyard up the right way as you go. And then we have Agadeem's Awakening, which is kind of like Gruesome Menagerie. You just have to pick different mana values for the X or less part of it, but you can get more out of it. So you can actually get 4 or 5 drops out of your graveyard if you pay the 5 into the X. So late game, it actually scales up a little bit higher than the Gruesome Menagerie. And then we have removal out the backside here. We have Bloodchief's Thirst, Bone Shard, Spark Harvest, Whispers of Adros. This also doubles up as a Proliferate, which gets us another counter on Liliana the Last Hope. Drown and Ichor, same thing. Kill a creature, get another counter on the Planeswalker. Heartless Act, destroy their creatures. Crippling Fear. Now, since this is a tribal type deck with zombies, you pick zombies and all non-zombies get blown up, basically, as long as they're not bigger than 4. And the nice thing here is, too, is if it's a little bit bigger, you can use Liliana's ability, minus it down, and then do it, and then you can still get some of the 4 toughness stuff. Languish, for the 4 toughness stuff. Crux of Fate, destroy all non-dragons or destroy all dragons. I mean, whatever you really need. Dark Salvation, this one is an XX black. Target player creates a 2/2 black zombie creature token, where it's whatever you pay into the double X, and then up to 1 creature gets -X for each zombie you control. So theoretically, you could play this just for a black. You don't need to make the zombie tokens, as long as you have some other zombies already on the board and pay 1 mana to blow something up. And then Meathook Massacre, -X, destroy all their stuff, and if your stuff dies, they lose life. So if you really just need to finish somebody off because they're like at 5 or 6 life, and you have 5 or 6 zombies laying around, Meathook for 2, nuke all your zombies and kill them. And then we have Mana Acceleration, Mana Rocks, the whole 9 here. Dark Ritual. This is so fun. Because if you can get Dark Ritual on turn 1, you can have Liliana the Last Hope on 1 already ticking away. Arcane Signet, Cold Steel Heart, Mind Stone, the usuals that I put in my mana bases. Heraldic Banner, since it's a monocolored deck, we can use this to pump our zombies up. Staff of Completion, this one has a lot of applications. You can either destroy something that's hurting you, like Black Market Connections or Phyrexian Arena, which they are in the deck, so you can shut them off with this. You can fix your mana for a couple of turns. Proliferate's one of the big things here to get the counters up on the Planeswalker. You can draw a card if you really need to. Whatever you really need. Staff of Completion is very flexible. And then we have card draw in the deck. We have Village Rites, Deadly Dispute, Sack a creature, draw cards. The aforementioned Black Market Connections and Phyrexian Arena. And then I also have a copy of Mask of Gristlebrand. Sometimes we're low on life. This will actually give us the ability to get some lifelink on the board, gain some life. It also allows us to draw cards off of it when the creature dies if we need to. So it has a little bit of applications of both. And then we have what I'd call the pile of Planeswalkers and ways to actually make them better. We have one copy of Liliana's Scrounger from M21 in here. For 2 and a black, it's a 3/2 human wizard that says at the beginning of each end step, if a creature died this turn, you can put a counter on a Liliana Planeswalker. Now, it's just one. It's a Liliana, not all of them. So if you have multiple Lilianas out, you got to pick which one. And usually I pick Last Hope, but we have other Lilianas in here as well. Speaking of which, we have Liliana of the Veil. Each player discards a card, or you can -2 sack a creature, or you can get to the -6. I've never gotten to the -6 on this card, so I'm not that worried. I'm more worried about either picking apart their hand or making them sack a creature. And the fun part here is we're discarding cards, and we have ways of getting our stuff back with the Necromancy spells. Some of the Lilianas actually have the ability to bring stuff back to our hand. There's just various ways we can take advantage of this. We also have Liliana Untouched by Death. 2 black, 4 starting loyalty. You can +1 to mill 3 cards, and if one of them is a zombie, each opponent's going to lose 2 and you gain 2, so it's a little bit of life padding. Target creature gets -X until end of turn equal to the number of zombies you control, so it's a good way to blow up something really big. And then you can -3 and cast zombies from your graveyard until the end of the turn. So if you really have just a bunch of stuff that got killed off, you can start getting them back afterwards. We also have Dreadhorde General. 4 black, when a creature you control dies, draw a card. +1, make a zombie token. -4, each player sacks 2 creatures, or -9, basically you win the game. Otherwise, it says each opponent chooses a permanent they control of each type and sacks the rest. So if you get there, you're going to win the game. And then we also have one copy of Vraska Betrayal's Sting. For 4, a black and a Phyrexian black. It's a 6 starting loyalty Planeswalker. And you can +0 to draw a card, lose a life, and you proliferate, which has also helped our Liliana Planeswalkers. You can -2 to turn something into a treasure or artifact token, and it loses all of its abilities. So if there's something that's like, oh, that's going to kill me, turn it into a treasure, go away. And then -9, you can basically make somebody get 9 poison counters, because there's no other poison in this deck. And then if you get there, get one of your proliferate spells, and you just win. So that can happen, but it's very rare. And then this really long column here is all of the zombies that are in the deck. This is basically every good zombie I could find in the program here. We got Champion of the Perished. Every time a zombie comes in, it gets bigger. Crypt Breaker. You can tap 3 zombies, draw a card, and it makes zombie tokens, and you can discard a zombie to it that we can then reanimate later. Diregraph Ghoul, just a generic 1-drop 2/2 zombie. Foulmire Knight, death touching zombie, but it also has the ability to draw us a card. We have Shambling Gas, which when it dies, you can either kill a 1 toughness creature or assist in killing something a little bit bigger, or you can create a treasure token. Tainted Adversary, it's a 2/3 death touching, and you can pay 2 and a black when it comes in any number of times, and you get 2 zombie tokens that have decayed for every time you pay that 2 and a black into it. We also have White. It's a 3/2 that enters tapped, and whenever a creature that was dealt damage by the white dies, create a 2/2 zombie and exile the card instead. So it kind of replaces itself. Relentless Dead, it's a menace 2/2 that when it dies, pay a black and you can bring it back to your hand. It also has a trigger of when it dies, you can pay X to return another zombie from the graveyard to the battlefield. So what's nice here is if you have something that's got like a trigger on it, like Grey Merchant of Asphodel, which is in the deck, you're going to be able to bring that back out of the graveyard for 5 mana. You're going to pay 5 for it anyways out of your hand, so you can just bring it back with this dying and then just blast everybody with it. Undead Augur, 2 black, it's 2 blacks, 2/2. Whenever it or another zombie dies, you draw a card, lose a life. This thing can actually get you a lot of mileage, especially off of the zombie tokens that are generated in the deck. and you're able to just keep drawing into more fuel for the zombie fire here. Metallic Mimic, name zombie. All of our zombies come in with a counter on them. Diagraph Colossus, it comes in with a counter for every zombie in the graveyard, and whenever you cast a zombie, you get more zombies. Fellstinger, it has Death Touch, exploits to draw you cards, and when it exploits, target player draws 2 cards and loses 2 life. You can also use that to burn an opponent. Headless Rider, whenever it or another non-token zombie dies, create a 2/2 zombie token. It's just a good little Lord effect to protect our non-token zombies. Lord of the Accursed, speaking of lords. All other zombies you control get +1/+1, and you can give them Menace by paying a black and tapping it, so then it makes the combat a lot trickier for our opponents. Midnight Reaper, whenever a non-token dies, draw a card, lose a life. Rotting Regisaur, it's a 7/6 for 3, the zombie dinosaur, and whenever the beginning of your upkeep, discard a card. Death Baron, skeletons and other zombies you control get +1/+1 and have Death Touch. All these things that these lords and stuff are doing really add up and make it hard for our opponents to deal with the zombie hordes. We also have Murderous Rider, for 1 black, destroy target creature or planeswalker and you lose 2 life, or you just get a 2/3 life linker that when it dies it goes to the bottom of your deck. Ebon Death, you can flash it in, it's a 5/2 flying zombie dragon, and if you can cast it from your graveyard if another creature not named Ebon Death died this turn. We also have Endling. It's a 3/3 zombie shapeshifter with a bunch of abilities. You can give it Menace, you can give it Death Touch, you can give it Undying, which means if it doesn't have a +1/+1 counter on it, it'll come back into play with a counter on it. And then you can either plus it or minus it to give it either a defensive capability or an offensive capability. Grey Merchant of Asphodel, which was mentioned earlier, 3 black, 2/4. When it enters the battlefield, blast everybody for equal to the devotion, which is all the black mana pips on the battlefield. This will finish games. And we also have Gem Palm Polluter, cycle it for 2 black, you deal damage equal to the number of zombies you control. There is a video or a recording part in the video where I actually use somebody's Wishclaw Talisman to tutor for this to end the game. Newscraft Mob, 4 black, it comes in with 5 counters on it. When a player casts a spell, remove a counter and create a 2/2 zombie, and that includes you. So your opponent casts stuff or you cast stuff, you're getting zombies off of this. And then this last column here, before the lands, is all the stuff that makes our deck just kind of better. We have Graph Harvest. All of our zombies have Menace. You can exile something from your yard to create more zombies. Shadow Spear gives trample and lifelink, so some of our bigger zombies can punch through and reserve our life. Bash of Remembrance. When a creature dies, it deals 1 damage and you gain a life, and when it enters, you get a soldier token, which is kind of like the least impactful thing about it. We have Liliana's Devotee. It pumps our zombies by +1/+0, but it's a human instead of a zombie. And then it says at the end step, if a creature died this turn, you can pay 1 in the black, and if you do, create a little 2/2 zombie token. Wand of Orcus. This thing impresses me. When the equipped creature attacks or blocks, it and the zombies you control gain Death Touch. That's the first part. But whenever the equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, that many 2/2 black zombie creature tokens are also created. And then we also have Ghoulcaller Gisa, basically one of the few non-zombies in the deck, because she pays a black, taps, and sacks a creature to create that many X 2/2 black zombie creatures, where X is the sacrifice creature's power. So if you have a 4 power or 5 power zombie and you sacrifice it, you're going to get 5 2/2s instead of that 1 5 power creature. And then we also have Liliana's Mastery. For 3 black, zombies you control get +1/+1, and it creates 2 zombies. So 6 power on the board for 5 mana, and it's a lord that's harder to kill. It's just a really good card. And then the last column over here is just the land base. Very simple since this is a monocolor deck. We have Cabal Stronghold. Add a black to your mana pool for each basic swamp. We have 34 basic swamps, so it's going to be really easy to get a lot of mana out of it. Takanuma to help do some reanimation for us. Karn's Bastion for the proliferate, because we have all these planeswalkers messing around, plus a few +1 counter synergies, so this helps there too. And then Nykthos, Shrine to Nyx, because we have all this black mana pip action going on. We're going to take advantage of it. That's the deck. I hope you guys enjoy it, and we'll talk about it at the end of the video. Jodah. Alright. So let's see what Liliana the Last Hope can do as a commander for us. Sure, we'll try that. I like this hand because of the Gix's command, because I can make them sack like their biggest thing they have. So we can go a little back. We'll do Metallic Mimic into Undead Augur. Let's name zombie. Unless they play like a mana dork or something, then I might play Liliana next turn. Just to kill the dork. You know what? We'll actually just go ahead and swing for 2, and I'm going to play Liliana now while they're tapped down. I like that better, just to get her ticking up.
And I don't appreciate it when people touch
Submit 0, don't hit cancel.
Lucy?
Oh, the joys of Arena's interface sometimes. So next turn we could do Endling. Let's go ahead and plus this. And let's go ahead and play the Endling. Just in case they have like a flash blocker or a burn or something like that for the Metallic Mimic. So next turn we have Gix's command available if we need it. Wow, okay. So we're just going to go ahead and keep on plussing. Yeah, we're just going to swing. I'll go ahead and play this and the white. I mean, there's no reason not to play these right now. And I still have black available to give the Endling Undying if they try to wipe the board. And I would draw 4 cards. So I'm okay if they do that. Oh, damn it. It's Vanishing Verse. Like one of the worst things you could ever see as a monocolored deck. Oh. I just kind of want to see where we would have been. That's 15 life. We got 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, then I could have just plussed and minus the Endling and killed them. So that's why they scooped. Okay. Kinnan. Okay. We'll go ahead and try this, because I actually, when I was testing this deck the other day, I came up against a Kinnan deck, and I actually whomped on it. So, with this deck. So we will give this a whirl. And I'm actually going to keep this hand because I have a good curve actually into this, because I can go turn 2 Signet, turn 3 I can either drop Liliana or I can drop the Scrounger or the Death Baron. And if I get another land right into Ebon Death, right into Ghoul-Collar Gisa. So it's actually pretty good. So we're gonna see what they drop, and that'll determine which of the 3 drops gets slammed. Okay, that means Liliana, because that's gotta die.
Something suspicious is going on. And for once
we're gonna tear down any mana dorks that we see. And that's why I'm glad most mana dorks are like 1 power or 1 toughness, so I can just be like, goodbye, goodbye. Okay, we're gonna plus this. No damage output from you.
You can quit
let's go ahead and do. Let's go ahead and get Gisa. We'll call her Gisa down. Gisa, however you want to pronounce it. So she can get to the untap part where she can activate and start making zombies for us. Well, wow, you get double hexproof. Alright. Let's go ahead and plus. We don't have to target anything with it. And I'm going to play. What do I want here? I think I want to play the Crypt Breaker. And that'll leave us with 4 mana open. Let's also do. We'll leave that open. I can't swing into the Mirror Shield with Gisa because it doesn't do any good. I can flash in Ebon Death though. So if I need to make him burn a counterspell, I have the ability to do so. And the fun part is now I can also do some other fun, dumb stuff with this. So let's go ahead and plus her again. Or actually, yeah, I do want to plus her again. So let's sub-zero on that. And let's cast. Do I want Devotee or do I want the other? I think I want Devotee. Because that makes Ebon Death even bigger. And he's going in. So now I have the ability to sacrifice something to her to make zombies. I have, you know, sacrifice something to go draw some cards. Or I can just tap zombies with the Crypt Breaker and draw cards too. But I got options all day long. Okay, so they're going to have a fight thing going on. Let's see where the fight goes. Probably Gold-Collar Gissa, my guess. Let's go ahead and activate her. Let's sacrifice the Ebon Death. And then I'm going to use this to sacrifice this. And resolve. And I can draw 2 cards now. Isn't that fun? Alright, so we're going to activate this. 1, 2, 3. And then we'll do it again. Go 1, 2, 3. Alright. -7 her. There's no point in not doing it because we have it ready. That's one of the things I love about the commanders being the Planeswalkers. Let's do Swamp. And let's do Death Baron. And we'll couple that with Lord of the Accursed. Because I can. Send in all of the dorks. Go! And that's fine. Next. you had to block one more. Torbran. Okay, this could be ugly for us. Let's see what happens. We'll give it a try, though. I like the Wand of Orcus. Liliana the Veil's Dees. Let's go with Crypt Breaker to start this off. Pardon me. Just over. Alright, so Liliana the Veil can do like her minus ability. Oh, hey, we actually got a 2-drop on the curve. I'll take it. The only sucky part is these tap zombies, there's a couple of them in the deck, don't work well with Crypt Breaker. It's kind of a minor non-bow there, but Crypt Breaker still puts in a lot of work. That could really hurt, though. Alright, we're going to play Last Hope. We're going to go ahead and kill that Fervor Champion.
When people touch all in a day.
And then I'm just going to go ahead and swing. I think people forget about how Liliana the Last Hope's activated ability can just snipe 1 toughness creatures. Like, I don't think they think about it. I'm okay with that. If they want to hit her and then throw a burn spell at her instead of my face or my creatures, I'm okay with that. That's fine. I don't care. She served her purpose for a turn.
Waste of my time.
Because they just spent their turn doing that, and then I can actually probably just do, and get a creature. Of course, I was gonna do Liliana of the Veil and kill it, but it's all right. Let's do what? It's gonna be a couple turns yet before that comes online. Let's just go ahead and do the Shadow Spear and equip it to the white. Yeah, I don't care. Because the white is now swinging for lots of fun damage. Alright, end turn. Because this is 2 to activate, right? Yeah. I haven't used Crypt Breaker in so long, I had to refresh my memory there for a second on the activated other ability. Okay, so there's Field. They are mana screwed. That does not help them whatsoever against us. This one does damage to opponents. I'll take 1 damage. Yeah, we're just gonna swing. I mean, we have the life linking zombie. It's like I don't care. And I'm gonna go ahead and play the wand. Because then that really makes that white dangerous, because then it has trample, lifelink, and death touch. So it's just going to hit something for 1 damage, and the trample will carry over, and I'm still going to hit them. Well, they've hit 3 mana. I'll take the damage. Here's me not caring. Alright, if I do that, that's only 2 mana. Yeah, screw it. Just put it over here. Next, swing. And then the zombies are going to start flowing. Wow, they actually took time. Well, I guess it didn't matter. The death touch would have gotten it over. I just got an extra zombie out of it. Now I can draw extra cards, though, too. Yeah, lifelink just screws mono red decks up so freaking bad. It just it makes me laugh, so how bad it just jacks that deck up. I mean, I'm gonna block the Blister Spit Goblin. I don't care about the 1/3. Okay. Again, don't care. It's still gonna die. Alright, and I'm just gonna activate this. This will be one of my 3 zombies that I get to tap to do this. I don't care. That's why I said that could have been problematic with Crypt Breaker's activated ability, but the life gain helps. Okay, so now we have a Murderous Rider. We're okay. They get to die this turn. I think they're waving the white flag, though. Yeah, I'm just going to Murderous Ride the electrostatic field and swing for lethal at this point, so... Life gain for the win! Rusko... You know, everybody, and I mean everybody on Twitter complains about that freaking card, and it's like, I don't understand. Because I think I've only ever lost to the deck twice, and it's usually because I'm either mana screwed, or I should have played that first. Or, you know, there's something, like, going on with the, where they get, like, the combo... with the stuff, you know, all over the place. Otherwise, it's like, okay, I'm not that scared of the deck. People must just have this really messed up thing about it. I don't know. Yeah, I was saying, they're probably going to take the removal spell that I can kill Rusko with. Alright, so we'll play this tapped. Play the Champion of the Perished. Do they have like an opt? Consider, okay. It's like it hung up just for just the slightest amount of time, so I knew there was something going on. if they don't play a rock or something and they just pass, I'm pretty sure they have counter magic up. Let's go ahead and do the last hope. If we're gonna counter it, at least then I can stick it back in the command zone. Okay.
Happy to help, but I'm taking the credit when we win.
Oh, let's swing at him.
Your day is mine to ruin.
I wonder if they thought that I had to target something. I think people forget the up to part of some of these activated abilities. Alright, Rusko's down. Alright, let's go ahead and do this on Rusko.
You can quit at any time.
And let's go ahead and let's play Fellstare. We're not gonna exploit it. I want the bodies. Since mastery is a good shot in the arm if I can get it down. Of course, I could also do Vraska next turn, too. If I get to that elusive mana. Alright. Your little needles don't really bother me. Because it's, what, non-creature spell? Okay, and you put a thing on there. Okay, so they have a Thought Erasure, so they can come after my hand. Which is fine. I have 2 or 3 different options I can play next turn. That was like a snap decision. Like, okay. Okay, so we're gonna +1. Hit Rusko. I think I'm just gonna Dark Salvation him. For 1? Is that what I want? Or no? Or yeah. Because then it does -3. Because it's for every zombie I control. So yeah, that's what we'll do. We'll do a Dark Salvation for 1. Or, I get the zombies, you get to die. So I had to think about that for a second. You select your thing, I get my trigger on Champion of the Perished, and I get to swing. Alright. So that gives me the body. I guess he really didn't want me playing Vraska like that turn if I would have got the 5th mana and then getting Liliana up to the 7. Six is kind of like the magic number though with this deck. Okay, that's painful with some of my card draw trigger stuff. Alright, they have a Jawari disruption, and I have to remember that fact. Alright, let's go ahead and plus her one more time before we try to launch off. I think I'm just gonna swing.
Aww, soon you'll be left with nothing.
I think these two can go for face. Stinger can go punch her in the face. Got a bounce? No, got a kill. Okay. 1-5 to the face for you, and then they don't have the mana to throw the Jawari disruption. So let's just go ahead and do the Water Marcus.
Keep an open mind.
Because if they recast Rusko, then they have no mana left. Right, they have a commit, which can then put a spell on the bottom of my... Or, what is it, 3 cards down? Or is it 2 cards down? 2 cards down. It's hard to remember, like, what every single card does these days. It used to be where there was not so many cards where you could play mental magic and you could actually, like, remember, like, all these different cards and and make stuff up as you went, and it's like now it's like, yeah, you can't really do that.
Oh, typical.
All right, she's back to post. We have our stuff. I think the wand is just gonna go on the champion at this point.
You suffer.
And I'm just gonna swing 3 to the face, 2 at her. Oh, I didn't realize that commit could actually... See, that's why, again, I can't remember these things. I didn't realize that commit couldn't do stuff on the bottom like that. I thought it could only do spells on the stack. So... Alright, and they know I have Liliana's Mastery in hand. All I need is a land. Alright, there's Rusko. So they have a blocker now. If they play a non-creature spell here, though, the Midnight Clock's going to trigger, and I'm going to lose my stuff. Which sucks. Oh, it only does theirs. Never mind, it's not both players. That's good. Okay, they've tapped down. Give me a land. Dang it! Alright. So, what are we doing here? Mindstone. Wanding it up. Okay, we're just gonna go in. Dead Rusko, or am I screwed? Because if they have a board wipe or a bounce, I'm just going to be hosed. I think they're going to go for a board wipe. I'm almost certain that's what they're doing. Oh no, it's the worst of the options. It's the bounce. Okay. Well, son of a biscuit. Alright. Well, Champion of the Perished is back. Let's drop Mindstone back down. Do they have a counter? They do. Womp womp. Alright. We'll play the champion. They have another counter? Well, at least at this point with the board being wiped out or whatever, I still have constant pressure coming because I'm able to keep dumping more and more stuff. Like now they're probably going to go for a board sweep of some sort. Just trying to see what is in my yard, if there's anything worth dropping. Oh, I think they went for the Time Warp. Which I don't know that I agree with that kind of thing in their position. Unless they have something really, really good in their hand, or the ability to turbo trigger that Midnight Clock, I don't agree with going for that card. But I might be eating my words here. I really need a freaking mana though. because I've been doing all this off of, you know, the 4 mana I've had since forever. If I can get Liliana's mastery down, like, that would help immensely. Because the sucky part is, I've had them down to 4, and they've regained all this life, and I went from like 21 to 13. But I have zero intention of giving back their Wishclaw Talisman either, so... Alright. So that's 18 damage that I have on board right now. Though I'm sure they can turbo up that clock and draw answers really quick. Alright, there's that. I have to look at this. It's power 2 or less, not mana value. I hope, make sure I didn't accidentally kill my own zombies. That would have been bad. Yep, I'm not giving you that Wishclaw Talisman back. Ain't no way. I think, because if they block 6 damage, they live. I'm almost thinking about just doing Gix's command, but they might have a counter in hand too. So let's just go ahead and do this. We'll go ahead and destroy the opponent's stuff, and I'm also gonna do 2 things back to my hand. Make them have the counter magic. Okay. So they had that. I'm gonna go ahead and bring both of these back to my hand. Oh, it's tapped though. Well, that's fine. I'm okay with that. Do you have kill magic? Oh no, they have a hive though. Okay, so they do have another blocker available. What? Uh-oh. I was like, I thought they passed through blockers by accident. Alright, we'll go ahead and play this. Because it'd be kind of foolish not to. And then we'll get a big trigger off of that. Champion's gonna get very swole. That is a big champion of the perished. Alright. Well, they're gonna get their midnight clock to blow off, so... They're gonna get answers. They're gonna dig for board wipes or something. I wish I had, what is it? Meathook Massacre. Because then I could just kill my own board and not deal with them. Like, I don't care if I have to just generate a couple zombies to pull this off. Or better yet, give me my Gem Palm Polluter. So I can cycle it and burn you. You control, which is fine. I was just like, I hope he can't blink my stuff, because that would suck for the champion. I would also settle for like Shadow Spear at this point, because then I could actually like go Shadow Spear onto champion. That kind of stuff does wonders. Okay, so they have a. What do I have? I'm trying to think here if I should just go Wishclaw, like get the stuff Wishclaw and then cycle. that's the smart play. I'm reluctant to give them this thing back because it gives them answers. I'm going to play the Tainted Adversary. Urtai. Okay. This counter magic's getting on my nerves. Alright, that's fine. I need zombies on the board. That's what I need. Alright, let's play Shambling Ghast. Next. End turn. I think this gives me 4 zombies. It does. Okay, in response to this stupid clock activation, I'm gonna go get my frickin' Gem Palm Polluter and I'm gonna finish this game. Because they ain't stopping this. No, them. I was gonna say good game. Take action. Ooh. Oh, Lord. Stupid Rusko deck. Jodah. Uh-oh. This is probably going to be painful for me. I'm trying to think if this would be an okay hand to keep, because we have a way to kill the early legend stuff. We have aggression, and they have other ways of killing their other legends. But then I have nothing else to sacrifice to Liliana, so I'd lose the Rotting Registore. So it's like, meh. Now this is kind of fun, because then I can do turn 1 Liliana if I want. Which I think I'm going to do. Because then I can kill Squirrel.
Those who get in my way tend to regret it. All in a day's
and get her
work.
ticking up as quick as I can get her going. Now that's the first time I pulled that one off. I put that Dark Ritual in here for that reason. So it's kind of nice to get to see it happen at least. Now, do they have a removal spell for Liliana? That's the question. It makes the Dark Ritual play a lot less impressive if they can just blow it up right away. Plus her, and I'm gonna go ahead and play the Foulmire Knight just in case something comes up that I don't like a haste creature or something. The other thing you can do with the Dark Ritual, which I like in this deck, is you could, get like Gulkar Gisa on like turn 2 or 3, or Grey Merchant early, or whatever, kind of thing you need to boost into really fast. Dark Ritual is just kind of silly. Okay, so they have the Elephant. We're going to neg it. And then I'm actually going to Dark Salvation for 1 and kill it. Oh, sorry. That first. And then go this way. You are not going to poke Liliana with your elephant. Sorry. And that sounds really, really bad. The way I just said that. Now, they might have a removal spell. We'll see. Nope. Okay. I'm just going to go ahead and plus again. And I'll play Champion of the Parish.
Shots here.
Alright, nothing triggered there, so we'll go ahead and swing. And we'll stop. Now, depending if I can actually get a land... Tasha. Okay, Tasha kind of slams the brakes on me just a little
I
bit.
thought we did too many witch hunters just to lose to you. Beware.
Alright, we're gonna -7 Liliana because I want the zombies.
Waste of my time.
Alright, so what does she rate? Until next turn, creature attacks you or her. Put a native counter on the creature. Okay, and that's fine. I am gonna go ahead and play Ebon Death now because that nets us an extra zombie. And then Champion gets really big. And then the negative counters mean Jack Squat. Because it's like, oh, I'm still going to hit you really, really hard. Oh, it's Urtai. What you blowing up? Champion? No, I mean, that's a thing. Well, the languish doesn't do me much good.
Keep your distance.
Relentless Dead. If I had another mana, Tainted Adversary would be better, or even Gisa. Let's go ahead and play Relentless Dead. I am going to slam at her. If he wants to block, I'm okay with that. Otherwise, she's going to 2. And don't really good game me. I still have 25 life. And I have a lot of zombies, and they all survive. And there's still quite a few, all zombies get +1/+1 type effects in this deck, so I'm not wholly unafraid of Tasha right now. Even if you minus her, I don't know that you have a lot of stuff I really care about. Like, if you steal my stuff, it's mostly low ball stuff. That's the thing with zombies. There's not, like, these big honking dragons or anything like that. Most of my threatening... Actually, the 2 most threatening things in my deck are actually in my hand, being Gisa and Grey Merchant. I mean, if they don't get anything good here, they're gonna die.
A little upset.
Oh, you got one of my pluses.
Feel being your own worst enemy.
I also got my Gix's command and Andronic. Yeah, it's like whatever. It's a pile of whatever. Alright. Got my 5th land finally. It's like, what do I do with that? So she's out of the picture now. They're at 21. I think I just do Grey Merchant of Asphodel and swing wide. I think that kills them. Because now they can't... Oh, even then, I don't even think they could block enough stuff. Because without Tasha's counter thing keeping me from swinging so much, it's like, okay... Yeah, you're taking 30, 32, 33 damage. Good game. Yeah, don't... Unless you were good gaming because you think you were going to lose, don't good game me that early. I don't like that. So what did you guys think? I thought this was a very good translation from the Oathbreaker deck to the Historic Brawl deck, and I had a lot of fun with it. There might have been a few tweaks here and there I might make. Like, Vraska didn't really make a big difference in the deck, and there was a few other things I probably would change out. But I would like to know in your comments below, what would you take out of this deck? What would you add to it to make it better, make it tick a little bit cleaner? I'm all ears. Let us know down below, and as always, thank you for watching, and have a great day.